Ray Leonard described, I guess, the performance of Brandon Rios.
He described the fight as the fight was going on. So it was in the early rounds, like rounds 1 through 3. He described the fight as being impressive. Like he used the word impressive, and then he used some other similar words.
Yeah.
Like maybe amazing, impressive. And that, I had an opinion because I felt like with this level of fighters, although them against each other made for a competitive
when you
fight.
brought it up, we didn't.
I brought it up like in the moment with Kelsey. Like I tweeted about like my opinion, brought it up with Kelsey, and we differed on like my opinion on this.
Right, which is fine. It's just a word. The word impressive. So Rachel didn't like the word impressive really there because she didn't. What do you tell them?
Well, if either of those fighters fought a top boxer in their division,
yeah,
they would have just been
they
beat down.
Get worked over. So that's what she was like.
So I don't like using the word impressive. Like this is a competitive fight. This is a fun fight. I really like this is a fun scrap. Like any of those things. But it was just like impressive was like for me was a little bit too much.
So Rachel,
yeah, it could. We talked about it.
Well, we don't have to go into the other stuff.
Okay.
What I'm saying is that Rachel, like any red-blooded American boxing fan who subscribes to the Zone or doesn't, tweeted like something like, I don't know.
Well, you watch fights if you're on Twitter.
And
like
she said,
you just
like, I don't know if I would call these people impressive, Mr. Leonard. She didn't tweet this at Sugar Ray.
No, I did not. I did not tag him.
She wasn't picking a fight.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And then, I guess almost a week later, I look over and Rachel's sitting over there. And she's like, Ray Leonard tweeted at me. And I was like, oh. I was like, that's cool because like everybody loves Ray Leonard. He's one of the most like lovable figures in boxing lore.
Yeah, yeah.
And I actually have read his autobiography. It's downstairs. Anyway, so I was like, oh, that's cool. But then Rachel's sad. Rachel's sad about what Ray Leonard said to her. And I was like, what? So I guess, what's funny, so I guess he searched for his name, just Leonard, because it wasn't even Ray.
Well, either he searches for his name or there's people that run his like maybe social media.
Yeah.
I don't know like what kind of celebrity Ray Leonard is. But like I do know
hands-on.
Right. Is he doing that himself or does he have somebody
hands-on because he's a boxer. He's like unless you're Manny Pacquiao right now. You know what I mean? Like anyway, that's the story I make up.
Yeah.
But I guess he didn't like
somehow found my tweet, misunderstood part of it.
That's the best part.
Because he was saying like he mentioned the ref and how hard it was to be a ref in the ring. And I didn't talk about that, so I made no mention about that.
But he was kind of like, I guess, like something like I would probably know Rachel because I'm sure.
Well, he was like, as a boxer with 50 years of experience, what he thinks is this, basically saying I don't have that experience,
which she doesn't.
Which is true, I don't. Yeah, but it did kind of make me a little bit sad.
It was sad because it was like Ray Leonard was being defensive and almost not lashing out at you in like, you're stupid, but kind of, you know what I mean?
Well, kind of like when somebody comes to you and they're like, hey, I'm a former professional boxer, one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
My whole life has been about boxing, and this is what I think. And it's the opposite of what you think.
Yeah.
Then that kind of is. It's bringing he wasn't mean or anything. He was nice.
It was just.
But it's just like bringing a little bit. It'd be like if I went to somebody and I said, and they had like this opinion about, let's say teaching. Like I have a lot of knowledge about early childhood education, and I went up to them and I said, you know what? I taught for X number of years and have this many education hours with early childhood education, and this is what I think. And if the person that I'm talking to maybe is a brand new teacher who just got certified, like how would that make them feel?
Yeah, and I guess I keep going back and forth in my head on this. Because from one perspective, Rachel has a right to have her opinion and just tweet it out. Whatever. And from another perspective, Ray Leonard has the right to search for his name and
Yeah.
defend himself, or it wasn't even she wasn't attacking really.
No.
It was just a thought.
We just
about
had a
what he
difference of
said.
opinion.
And that's perfectly fine. But at the same time, I would think that it's not like a great look for Mr. Leonard to single out, I don't know, like someone who was clearly just expressing a
Well, we
thought.
talked about that too, because my initial feeling was, of all the people that probably tweet things about you
Right, because I've seen a
that
lot
are
of things
completely
about
like
Ray
off
Leonard.
base or ridiculous or mean. I said like this very minor thing, didn't tag you in it because I was just, I'm sitting there having my experience from my couch watching a fight, and I had lots of tweets that night, right? Like, and they're just all my opinion, and it's not a big deal. I went on with my life, and so that's what. But then you mentioned to me that like from his perspective, obviously it would be ridiculous for him to engage with any over the top
troll
type tweets, but that maybe this one. Maybe he enjoys Twitter. I don't know. I don't really
we don't know.
like.
But I know that.
But maybe he wanted to engage because this seemed like just like not as over the top.
Or like, yeah, I don't know. I do know that, Rachel cried, and I don't like that Ray Leonard. So I've been getting.
Oh no.
I saw Ray Leonard hitting the heavy bag the other day on Facebook. He was showing how he kind of stays in shape. And I was like, shit, he still looks pretty good. Like you wouldn't want them hands. You know what I mean? But I'm saying that I don't know. It was just a weird experience. I don't really have
Right. So
I don't really have an opinion on it. Really.
Rough day that day.
Yeah.
And so it was like I had a rough week of. If you follow me on Instagram, you know that I have
had a rough life.
Negative self-talk that I'm dealing with. And then I may have or may not have made a financial error.
Not in our favor.
Not in our favor. And like 5 minutes after finding that out, I'm just pull open my phone and I'm like, oh, why do I have like 10 notifications, which is a lot for me on Twitter. And I was like, oh, Kelsey must have tweeted like at me. He must have tagged me. And I was like, oh no, it's Sugar Ray Leonard. And
he's mad at me. That's the feeling. That might not be the truth.
Yeah, my feeling it's like, oh, and he hates me.
Yeah, so it was a pretty sad day for.
I was like, this really nice man hates me.
Yeah, like the nicest person in the world hates you. Anyway, so I don't know. We just wanted to share that story because it was something that happened.
Yeah.
And it's real talk.
It's about boxing, so.
And it's about Ray Leonard, one of the best fighters ever.
Yeah.
So definitely, I don't know. What do you
guys think? Also want
think?
to say that aside from this, I have another tweet out there in the Twitterverse where I said that Ray Leonard was like super great when he did this locker room interview before like a fight because he was so genuine and authentic, and he like let out like this like laugh that I just thought was like the best thing ever.
Where you at then, Ray Leonard?
But that wasn't the tweet.
The McCarsons are not your problem out there on social media. We are not.
And I think it's really hard to be a commentator. And I think that Ray Leonard specifically, since I started watching DAZN, I think that he has improved a lot, and that now when I watch, like, I just think that he's doing a much better job. And
I have pretty low standards for color commentators. Like, if your name is Ray Leonard, great. That's good. That's good enough for me. If your name is Roy Jones Jr., like, let Roy Jones Jr. talk. A lot of people aren't like that, but I don't. That's their thing or whatever. But I tell you what's probably going on here. I never thought about it this way. What if Ray Leonard is one of our loyal subscribers and he comments, and subscribes like you should, and loves Real Talk, and then he's like, why is Rachel busting my chops, And he was going to get in there, roll his sleeves up, and get dirty in that Twitter game. So that's probably what happened. We understand, Ray. We love you too. If you want to be like Ray Leonard, probably is, you should like, comment, and subscribe to Real Talk with Kelsey and Rachel. You'll get stories like this. You'll get better stories. You'll get worse stories. You'll get all sorts of stuff.